I've always wanted to try this. Set the popcorn and now we wait. I've always wondered what my palm says about me, but I've never been able to read it. That is until I was browsing the interwebs and found the most perfect website to teach me all about the art of palm reading. That's right, our good friend WikiHow. So according to this, for females, the right hand is what you're born with and the left is what you've accumulated throughout your life. I'm gonna choose my left because I want to know what I've accumulated over my life. And also there's just more to work with on this one. Okay, so there's 4 different lines. I think the 1 and 2 are kind of together for me because it's kind of extra thick, if I'm being honest. So let's actually find out what that means. First up is heartline. Topical. I've scrolled through the diagrams to see the different kinds, and I think there are maybe 3 that might apply. The first one is begins below the index finger. If I'm going to interpret this one line as both my headline and my heartline, then that would apply, which would mean I'm content with love life. I'm sure I would be if I had one. So that's interpretation number 1. Interpretation number 2 is actually long and curvy, which is if we interpret this little part that's coming up as the heart line, then it could be considered long and curvy, which would mean I'm freely expressing emotions and feelings. And I mean, I did make a video ranting about fanfiction, so I guess I freely expressed my feelings on the matter. The last one I saw that kind of applies is the heartline and headline are parallel, and mine are really parallel. They're kind of like touching and exactly the same, but apparently the parallel one means I have a good handle on emotions, which, you know, I would kind of agree with, I think. But then again, it's not parallel. I don't know. There was no option for if they're kind of the same line. So, you know, I'm sure WikiHow, being the reliable source it is, they probably just, you know, forgot that one. It's easy when you're a website that supplies so many helpful guides, you know? Now for the headline, which is still the same lifeline as my palm, so I guess we're still looking at the same thing. Kind of boring, but, you know, I just can't help what my palm has to say about me. Looking at this, I found, again, 3 things that might apply. The first one is just separated from lifeline, and it is separated. If this is my lifeline, you see there's a tiny gap, and it is separated, which means adventure and enthusiasm for life. I would definitely say I have an enthusiasm for life. I think life is amazing, and we're all very lucky to be alive right now. Did I quote Hamilton? Maybe. The second one that could apply is the deep, long line, which means your thinking is clear and focused. I mean, I don't know. I daydream all the time. So, I mean, I guess I can, you know, be clear and focused when I need to be, but honestly, I spend a lot of my day daydreaming, and my imagination likes to run wild. Option number 3 is just straight line, which I think this is relatively straight. I mean, I don't know how to fully interpret it, which just means thinks realistically. I think it depends, right? In terms of making decisions and stuff, I would say I think realistically. But going back to my previous comment about me daydreaming all the time, I don't know how that's supposed to fit in. But we're just going to go with the fact that I have a decent headline and a decent heartline, and they're kind of the same at this point. Okay, now time for the lifeline. It's kind of getting spicy, right? This is the one that everyone really wants to know about, I think. Looking through, I found, again, about 3 things that might apply to me. The first one is this one, which is curvy. I would say this is relatively curvy, which means I have plenty of energy. And I think I can, but the one above it said closer to the thumb, often tired, and I feel like that fits me more, but I guess my hands are just telling me to be full of energy. Now the rest of my body just needs to get along with the program. In the same vein, the other one I found is long and deep, because mine does go kind of all the way to the bottom, which means vitality. I'm cool with that. I don't have a fun quip for vitality. Not that any of these have been like super fun quips, but I really don't have one for vitality, and I apologize about that. I want to point out a few of these because I think they're kind of funny. Like this one, the multiple lifelines, extra vitality. It's like vitality squared. I don't think I have extra vitality unless you count like these. They're not prominent enough, I think, to be actually considered anything. But you know, it would have been cool to have vitality squared. And the last one, the fate line. Um, a, Earlier in the article, it said that not everyone has a fate line. And I don't really know if I have one either. I see this little bit over here, and if they're both kind of connected, or maybe this is part of my heart line, I don't really know. But there's this part here, which is, it's very short, and I don't really know if it counts. And there you have it. We have read my palm. If you guys want to read what your palm is saying, I will be leaving a link to this article in the description. And I know I've been kind of giving WikiHow some shit, but honestly, it was a very clear and succinct way of reading your palm. And I know this is not everything in the art of palmistry and all that stuff, but for our purposes, I think it suited us well, and we got to read. There are 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall. Remember when Unis Honest did Play-Doh Thanksgiving? Well, let me introduce you to Play-Doh Valentine's Day. You might be thinking this is not real Play-Doh, it's knockoff Play-Doh, and you're right. I have no clue where this came from. I was just looking around and found this, and the one color I need, which is red, is suspiciously missing, so we're gonna go with purple, because that's the closest I can get to the pink-red spectrum. Now, you might be thinking what I could possibly be making out of Play-Doh for Valentine's Day. And the answer is chocolates. So you know those box chocolates that people give each other for Valentine's Day? I mean, so I've heard. But those box chocolates always have a variety of different things. It usually starts with the heart-shaped ones, right? The ones that are heart-shaped are usually soft, and there's usually like a filling in the middle. And that's what I'm going to be attempting to make out of this Play-Doh. This is not as malleable as real Play-Doh, I think. But then again, I haven't played with real Play-Doh in like forever, so maybe I'm wrong about that. If I fail at making a heart out of this, it's because I didn't really play with Play-Doh as a kid, and that's what I'm going to be blaming this on. Okay, so after a good amount of work, I've cut it out because it was just me struggling. I've managed to come up with a heart. It is the best heart I can make with the fact that I'm working with knockoff Play-Doh, and it's been forever. So we're gonna accept this, you know? We're gonna accept the heart. So pretend this is a chocolate heart, and it looks nicer than it does, okay? Bella Senor. The next thing that you usually see are those long cylinder, chocolate pieces that are usually wrapped with a foil, and they're the crunchy ones, right? Because all those boxes need to have different textures of chocolate. So this is like the crunchy one, like you bite into it, it snaps. So I'm going to try to make just a cylinder, which I think should be pretty easy. And there you have it. That actually is a pretty accurate representation of what those chocolates look like. And they're usually foiled with like purple or red or, you know, some other color too. So this is the crunchy one, the snappy one. The other kind of chocolates are usually the truffles, right? They're a little cube, but like rounded, and so that's the last kind I'm going to make. There are more than 3 different kinds of chocolates in these box chocolates, but I don't have that much Play-Doh, so we're just gonna go with what I can do here. So my method for this one has actually just been pressing down on either side and then rotating to kind of make a little cube. And you know what? I think this is pretty accurate, honestly. It's probably the best one I've made so far after the cylinder, which was just rolling it between my hands. So these are the little truffle kinds. Usually these are the dark chocolate ones, right? I'm also just gonna make another heart one because, you know, these are one of those like long boxes that only have like 5 candies or something. So I'm gonna make another heart just to kind of even out and add to my options. Okay, so this heart actually turned out better than my last heart, and I think that means I'm improving, so that's good. So now we have 3 different chocolates for our Play-Doh Valentine's Day. It popped! Finally! I've been meaning to pop the question for you. If you could just read my palm. Will you be my Valentine? Was this entire video just for a pun? Yes. Yes, it was. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hoped you liked it, and if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm sorry if this video kind of seemed everywhere. I had this idea of doing these activities that start with the letter P, and then I thought I'd end it with a punny joke. But with that, I will see you in the next video where I won't be trying a neti pot. I knew this bitch named Becky. She liked to talk real sexy, fucking nasty. No! This is a hand exercise, like an arm exercise, so my arm hurts from holding this up. Is this thing ever gonna... Fuck! You know, watching Honest try to figure out what element their palm was confusing, and now seeing it up close, I'm still confused. But I think, based off the length of my palm versus my fingers, I have a fire hand. What? I can't edit well, so there's just gonna be bad editing. I'm sorry.